and we welcome you to the Evansville court, the home of the Hawks. Folks, we have a good one tonight. It's the Thunder and the Hawks playing here in Evansville. Let's meet the starting five for both teams. Before that, take a look at the standings. Both of these teams are really good. Evansville sits sixth in the East. Plainfield sits at number 1. Now, time for the starting five for both. The Thunder has Reese McKee, Harper Baker-Lands, Noah Smith, Brennan Miller, and Jace Nielsen. And the Evansville Hawks have Gavin Wolfley, Micah Moeller, Jetta Minette, Rohan Pearson, and Trenton Wolfley. The Wolfley brothers are on the same court starting against the Thunder. We are underway in Evansville. Here's Gavin Wolfley. Wolfley has it, pass to Minette. Minette with it, back to Moeller. Micah Moeller misses the shot, and Brendan Miller rebound. Now here's Jace Nielsen, back to Miller, now to McKee. McKee will miss. Wolfley, back to Moeller. Moeller back to Gavin Wolfley. Wolfley to Minette, to Gavin Wolfley. To Moeller, Micah Moeller will miss. Miller rebound. Pass back to Nielsen. Jace Nielsen to Noah Smith. Back to Baker-Lands. Harper Baker-Lands, he will miss. Trenton Wolfley rebound. Pass to Pearson. Back to Minette. No, not Minette. It's Moeller. Micah Moeller for 2. The Hawks are up by 2 early in this one. Now here is Reese McKee. Pass to Nielsen. Jace Nielsen will miss. Minette with the rebound. Pass to Wolfley. Trenton Wolfley will miss the 3. Noah Smith with the rebound. Smith has it. Keeps it himself. Pass to McKee. Reese McKee will miss. Wolfley to Pearson. Rohan Pearson to Minette. Former Oriole teammates back to Moeller. Micah Moeller will miss the shot. Here's Nielsen. Back to McKee. McKee looks. Miller is open. Back to Nielsen. Here's Jace Nielsen. Will miss the 2. Pearson rebound. Here's Wolfley. Trenton Wolfley will miss. Nielsen rebound. Pass back to McKee. Reese McKee has the ball. Pass to Smith. Noah Smith puts it in for 2. Every team is working on contract extensions for some players. We know all these guys for both teams will be playing next season on these teams. Wolfley has it. Gavin Wolfley looks back to Pearson. Rohan Pearson will miss. Smith rebound. Here is McKee. I think, no, it's Miller who will miss the 3. Wolfley there. Now it's Pearson who will put it in for 2. Rohan Pearson will score. Now it's Reese McKee who has the ball. McKee back to Miller. Brennan Miller, pass to McKee. Reese McKee for 2. We are tied at 4. The offenses are not shooting well tonight. Moeller, pass to Minette. Here's Jetta Minette. Pass back to Wolfley. It's Gavin Wolfley. Pearson, now it's Minette. Jetta Minette to Pearson. Rohan Pearson will miss. Nielsen with the rebound. Here's Smith. Smith, pass to Miller. Now it's McKee. Back to Nielsen. Jace Nielsen looks. Now it's Brennan Miller. Pass McKee. Reese McKee misses. Moeller rebound. The pass to Wolfley. Now it's Gavin Wolfley. Now it's Micah Moeller. Pass back to Minette. To Wolfley. Gavin Wolfley will miss. Noah Smith will get the rebound. Smith has it. Smith back to McKee. McKee looks, keeps it himself. Now it's Miller. Brennan Miller for three. Timeout, Evansville. The Hawks will call a timeout. It's a really low-scoring game here from Evansville. Back live here from Plainfield. Here from Evansville. Look at the league leaders at second chance points this season. The Racers are leading that stat. And here we go. Back here from Evansville. Manette has it. Vincent Harper is on the court as well. Here's Harper. Vincent Harper. Or should I say Trey Harper. Back to Gardner. Now here's Manette. Manette goes up. Tries to pass it to Gardner. Couldn't. Here is Nielsen. Back to King. Elijah King will miss. Harper rebound. Now here's Manette. Jetta Manette has the ball. Pass there. And it's almost stolen. Here's Ezra Caesar with it. Caesar will miss. Logan Fairs has it. Back to Baker Lands. Baker Lands has the ball now. Pass to Hopkins. Max Hopkins now with it. Hopkins holding the ball. Back to Nielsen. Jace Nielsen misses the three. Gardner with it. Now here's Trey Harper. Pass to pass to Manette. Back to Caesar. Ezra Caesar now with it. To Manette. Jetta Manette. For three, drains a three. Tie game. Here's Fairs. Fairs from deep. Misses. And tie game going into the second quarter here in Evansville. And we welcome you back to Evansville. King gives it to Fairs. Second quarter is underway. Fairs looks, has it himself. Is he going to keep it? No, he's not. He passed to King. Elijah King will put it in for two. Here's Jetta Manette. Manette looks. Pass to Harper. He almost lost it. Now to Caesar. Caesar drops it. And it's going to be Plainfield basketball. Plainfield will get the ball as Evansville is losing the ball. Look at the Hawks' upcoming schedule. They have the Roundabouts and the Raiders. They have to play Nick Green and the Lafayette Raiders. Reese McKee is into the game. How about for the Hawks? Bowler and Gardner. Yeah, Micah Bowler is into the game. Fairs gives it to Baker Lands. Baker Lands back to Fairs. Fairs looks. Trying to keep it himself. Getting covered by the defense. Great defense by Evansville. Fairs puts it up. Misses the shot. Gardner. Back to Harper. Harper looks himself. Puts it in for two as it almost rolls out. Now here's Reese McKee. He has the ball. Tied at 9. McKee back to Fairs. Logan Fairs keeps it himself. Misses. Hopkins. Now it's King. King back to Fairs. Logan Fairs with it. Fairs back to McKee. To Baker Lands. Baker Lands will miss. King rebound. Logan Fairs for three. Nice offensive rebounds by the Thunder. Timeout Hawks. Logan Fairs able to put it in the basket. It's 12-9 here in the second quarter. Back live from Evansville. Great game we are seeing here tonight. Jace Nielsen is back into the game for the Thunder and into the game for the Hawks. It's Rohan Pearson. Here we go. Here's Harper. Back to Pearson. Pearson bounces back to Harper. Trey Harper misses the shot. Here's King with the rebound. King passing McKee. Now it's Fairs. Logan Fairs with it. Back to Nielsen. Jace Nielsen has it. Nielsen looks, keeps it himself. He will score. And the Thunder are at 14-9. This Plainfield team is a team that could very well make the finals and could very well play the Terre Haute Arrows. Minette back to Harper. Harper misses. King with the rebound. Coming up next month, it's the Thunder and the Arrows at Terre Haute. That's going to be a really good game. Here's Fairs. He has it. Back to McKee. Reese McKee misses the shot. Now it's Harper. Harper to Gardner. Back to Pearson. Pearson back to Minette. Minette to Harper. Trey Harper misses. Baker Lane's rebound. Now here's Nielsen. Back to McKee. Nielsen. Fairs now with it. Now it's McKee. McKee keeping himself. Back to Fairs. And he will just lose the ball himself. Out of bounds. It is now Hawks ball. Fairs is out. Miller is back into the game. Gavin Wolfley is now into the game. Wolfley is out there. How about Moore as well? Wolfley puts it up. He will miss a shot. The key rebound. Pass to King. Now it's Miller. Brennan Miller will miss. But it's Rohan Pearson with the foul. Brennan Miller at the line for two. Pearson with that foul. Miller. First free throw is made. Into the game now for the Thunder. Max Hopkins. And in for the Hawks. Grady Gardner. Brennan Miller will make both free throws to make it 16-9. Here's Gavin Wolfley. Wolfley has it. Goes up. Easy lane, but he's fouled on the way up. It's Reese McKee with the foul. Gavin Wolfley to the line for two.
Shoot two.
And the line for two, it's Gavin Wolfley. Wolfley makes the first free throw. Wolfley now focusing up on the basket. Here we go. Second free throw now coming up for Wolfley. Gavin Wolfley makes both free throws. King will give it to McKee. And the Thunder have the ball now. McKee back to Nielsen. Pass to Hopkins. Hopkins to Miller. Miller looks, keeps it himself. Back to King. Now it's Nielsen. Jace Nielsen misses the shot. Here's Harper with the rebound. Back to Gardner. Grady Gardner. Back to Muller. Now it's Gardner again. Back to Wolfley. Gavin Wolfley for 2. Now it's Nielsen who has it. 3-point game in Evansville. Hopkins back to Nielsen. Jace Nielsen misses the 3 again. Here's Harper. Harper back to Moeller. Moeller keeps it himself. Micah Moeller has it. Back to Harper. Now Garner, now Moeller, now it's Garner again. Pearson with it. Back to Moeller once again. Moeller gives it to Pearson. Pearson will miss the 3. McKee with the rebound. Back to Hopkins. Hopkins looks. Pass to Miller. Now it's McKee. Reese McKee will miss the 3. Harper has the ball. Now it's Pearson. Back to Gardner. They could tie it up here. Gardner to Pearson. Now it's Gardner. Back to Wolfley. Gavin Wolfley. Tie game in Evansville. Here's McKee with it. Reese McKee has the ball. He goes up. Back to Miller. Brennan Miller misses a 3. And we are tied at halftime. Halftime score, Plainfield 16, Evansville 16. Really good game here at the Evansville court. Let's send you back out to the Nova Rain halftime show. Welcome to the Nova Rain halftime show, folks. We are in for a treat here in the second half of the game. But let's quickly take a look at the Plainfield Thunder's upcoming schedule. They have Galloway, they have the Orange Cats, they have Carmel, and of course the rivalry game with the Centerton Racers at Centerton as well. Take a look at the highlights from this game. Micah Moeller has been outstanding, same as the other guys for the Thunder. The Thunder and the Hawks tied at 16 going into the second half. What's at stake? Good question. Plainfield will try not to lose another game. Tied at 16 at halftime. Basketball fans around the world know that this is a good matchup. We welcome you back to the Evansville court. Tie game at 16. Brennan Miller gives it to McKee. We are underway in the second half. Noah Smith will miss the 3 to start out in the second half. Wolfley. Here's Gavin Wolfley. Back to Trenton. Trenton Wolfley for 2. The assist from his brother Gavin. Evansville is now up 18 to 16. Baker Lanes to McKee. Back to HBL. Now it's Nielsen. Nielsen looks. Keeps it himself. Back to Miller. Here's Brennan Miller. Back to Baker Lands. Baker Lands with it. To Miller, now Smith. Noah Smith for 3. Great shot by Smith. Now it's Wolfley. Gavin Wolfley misses a 3. Tipped by Trenton. Miller to McKee. McKee puts it up for 2. Plainfield scores again. They score 5 quick points. Now here's Wolfley. The net, Wolfley again. Here's Wolfley. Now it's Trenton Wolfley with it. Pass to Mueller. Mueller to Wolfley. Gavin Wolfley for 2. 1 point game. Miller to Smith. Here's Noah Smith with it. Smith back to Nielsen. Nielsen with it. Jace Nielsen passes Smith. Noah Smith for 2. Smith is scoring really good here tonight. The pass to Wolfley. Trenton Wolfley for 2. The Wolfley brothers are active here in the second half. Here's McKee. Now here's Noah Smith. Noah Smith cannot miss in the second half. Smith for 3. Now here's Mike Moeller. Timeout Evansville. They have to cool down as Noah Smith gets hot early in the second half. Back live here from Evansville. The field goal percentage from rookies this season, Ishmael Kittica leads it over William Wu. How about Will Wu up there as well? The cheerleaders are dancing. Everybody is on their feet here. Here's Trenton Wolfley. Gives it to Pearson. Now it's Micah Moeller with it. To Minette. Jetta Minette goes up. Misses a 3. Nielsen to Smith. Noah Smith looks. Keeps it himself. He will score again. Noah Smith for 2. He has 12 points tonight. He has 12 points and the rest of the team has 16. Gavin Wolfley will miss the 3. Brennan Miller, rebound. Now here's Nielsen. Jace Nielsen misses. Trenton Wolfley barely gets the rebound. Wolfley driving it. Now it's Pearson who will miss. Brennan Miller rebound. Miller to Baker Lands. Now it's Nielsen. Jace Nielsen. Oh, and he will miss again too. Wolfley. Back to Wolfley. Gavin Wolfley misses a 3. Noah Smith rebound. Pass to Miller. Brennan Miller misses. Moeller rebound. Back to Minette. Here's Jetta Minette. Back to Moeller. Michael Moeller looks. The Plainfield crowd is going wild here. Moeller to Minette. Jetta Minette for 3. As everybody looks on, here's Noah Smith. 3-point game. Timeout, Thunder. The Plainfield Thunder will call a timeout, and it's 28-25. Back live here from Evansville. Plainfield, their shots have been outstanding here tonight. Noah Smith is staying in the game. It's only a 3-point game. The Wolfley brothers are still out there. Now here's Hopkins. Hopkins to Nielsen. Now it's Hopkins again. Smith looks. Now it's Baker Lands. Harper Baker Lands for 3. Great shot by Baker Lands. Now here's Minette with it. Jetta Minette has it. Here's Gavin Wolfley. Misses the 3. Nielsen rebound. Nielsen pass to Miller. Now it's Baker Lands. Puts it up for 2. Harper Baker Lands will score again. Here's Gavin Wolfley. Wolfley to Minette. Now it's Trenton Wolfley. To Pearson. Pearson gives it to Minette. Now it's Gavin Wolfley again. Wolfley takes it himself. Gets fouled all the way up by Baker Lands. And Wolfley is going to the line for 2 again. Plainfield has scored only 5 3-pointers, but only 27 points off of assists. How about that by Plainfield? Now here we go. Gavin Wolfley, first free throws made. Into the game for the Plainfield Thunder. Logan Fairs is into the game. How about for the Hawks? Ty Benton is into the game. Elijah King gives it to Hopkins. How about Logan Fairs in the game as well? Hopkins has it. He has it past to Baker Lands. Keeps it himself. Baker Lands misses a shot. Harper with the rebound. Trey Harper, rebound. Here's Gardner. Gardner to Wolfley. Wolfley looks, covered by Hopkins. Wolfley keeps it. Pass to Gardner. Grady Gardner misses the three. Here's King. Back to Miller. Brennan Miller looks. Almost loses the ball. Covered by Benton. Time Benton with the rebound. Benton to Gardner. Back to Benton. Now it's Wolfley. They give it to the most clutch man in the Hawks uniform. And it's Harper who will put in for 2. At the end of 3, it's 33-29. This game's not over yet. Plainfield has not been able to pull away that much. Fourth quarter is coming up. A fast start by Noah Smith in the third. In the third quarter. Has Plainfield up 33-29. We are underway in the fourth. Lomax, Moeller, Harper, Gardner, and Pearson is into the game for the Hawks. Here's Elijah King. King back to Hopkins. Hopkins getting covered by former Plainfield guy, Jerome Lomax. McKee down to Nielsen. Chase Nielsen misses a three. Micah Moeller rebound. Moeller pass to Harper. Harper now back to Moeller. Micah Moeller with it. He keeps it himself for 3. It's a 1-point game in Evansville. This would be an upset if Evansville were to win this game. Nielsen has the ball. Back to McKee. McKee to King. Nielsen now McKee. Reese McKee loses the 3-pointer. Here's Pearson. Pearson back to Moeller. Moeller to Pearson. Pearson inside. Makes the 2. Timeout Plainfield, and the Hawks are up by 1. Back live from Evansville. The Hawks up by 1. How about Ezra Caesar into the game for the Hawks? Plainfield, a really slow start to start the fourth quarter. Can they get back going with some points? Here's Hopkins. Hopkins to Fairs. Fairs to King. Back to Hopkins. Hopkins keeps it himself. Going up. Going for 2. He will miss. Caesar rebound. Caesar back to Gardner. Grady Gardner has it. Back to Harper. It's Trey Harper now. Back to Pearson. Pass to Caesar. Now it's Gardner. Grady Gardner misses the three. It's Fairs with the rebound. Hopkins to Nielsen. Back to King. Elijah King puts it up for two. And Plainfield is back up front. Here's Micah Moeller. He has the ball now. Moeller keeps it. Back to Harper. Now it's Caesar. Now it's Pearson. Pearson to Caesar. Ezra Caesar will miss the three. Fairs rebound. Pass to McKee. Now it's King. Elijah King with it. Back to Fairs. He loses the ball. Hopkins gets it back. King puts it up for two. Timeout, Evansville.
Timeout, Hawks.
Back live from Evansville. Elijah King has been good tonight. Here we go. Who's going to win this game? That's the question everybody is asking. Here's Moeller. Back to Wolfley. Moeller back to Minette. Here's Jetta Minette. Back to Wolfley. Now it's Pearson. Now it's Moeller. Micah Moeller with it. Micah Moeller puts it up. Misses the shot. Nielsen rebound. Nielsen has it. The starters are back out there. Nielsen to Miller. Brennan Miller misses a three. Pearson rebound. Pearson to Wolfley. Trenton Wolfley almost lost control of it. Here's Minette. Now it's Pearson. Back to Gavin Wolfley. Now it's Jetta Minette. Minette has it. Keeps it himself. Pearson up. Misses. Miller rebound. For three. Misses. Noah Smith misses, but Brendan Miller gets it back. He will miss. Moeller with the rebound. 2 minutes remaining here from Evansville. Moeller has it. Moeller. Back to Minette. Minette holds it. Pass to Wolfley. Gavin Wolfley misses the three. Noah Smith rebound. Smith back to Miller. Pass to McKee. Reese McKee with it. McKee to Miller. Back to Smith. Noah Smith misses the three. It's Pearson rebound. Now it's Trenton Wolfley. Wolfley back to his brother Gavin. Gavin Wolfley looks. Goes up. He will score. Timeout, Plainfield. Back live, here we go. Here we go, folks. Miller has it. Pass to McKee. Reese McKee with it. McKee. Back to Miller. Brennan Miller for 3. Plainfield is up by 4. Wolfley has the ball. He looks, keeps it himself, puts it up for 2. The layup is good. 2-point game. Here's Reese McKee. Time is running out here in Evansville. McKee has it. McKee looks, back to Smith. Noah Smith misses. Wolfley rebound. Back to Trenton Wolfley. Pass to Pearson. Pearson will tie the game. Tied at 40. Here's Reese McKee. Holds it, keeps it himself. He looks, covered by Wolfley. Great defense, and Noah Smith easily puts it in for 2. Timeout, Evansville. Back live, here we go from Evansville. 2-point game. Here we go. Wolfley has it. It's Gavin Wolfley. A 3-pointer would win. Wolfley goes up. Will put it in for 2. Timeout, Thunder. Tie game at 42. Gavin Wolfley is clutch as heck here in Evansville. Tie game, 6.3 left. Here we go. Here we go. Here from Evansville. Final 6 seconds. The Hawks have 1 timeout left. Plainfield needs to score quick. Timeout quick by Evansville, then they can win it. Here's Smith. Noah Smith puts it up for 3. Misses. Timeout, Evansville. 0.3 left in the game. We could have overtime. Noah Smith can't be clutch. Back live from Evansville. Back live. Here we go. The Hawks have it. Tie game. Who are they going to give it to? Wolfley. Looks. Back to Gavin. Gavin Wolfley puts it up. He will miss, but we are going to overtime. extra basketball heading your way in Evansville. Tie game, overtime from Evansville Court, the home of the Hawks. Overtime here from Evansville. Here we go once again. Evansville will get the ball first underway in overtime. Wolfley will give it to Pearson. Now it's Michael Muller. Muller gives it to Manette. Now it's Rohan Pearson. Pearson to Wolfley. Gavin Wolfley will miss the three. Nielsen has it. Now here is McKee. Overtime is not limited to one. Timeout only limited to two in overtime. Here's Nielsen going up for two. The Thunder will go up by two. But here's Wolfley. Has the ball. Looks, keeps himself, almost loses it. Now it's Trenton Wolfley going up. He will miss. Nielsen with the rebound. Pass back to Miller. Now to McKee. Now it's Brennan Miller passing McKee. Puts it up for two. 4-point game. But remember, Evansville can hit a three to make it a 1-point game. Here's Wolfley. Gavin Wolfley has the ball. Back to Trenton Wolfley. Trenton Wolfley looks. Goes up. Misses a two. Noah Smith rebound. Pass back to Baker Lands. To Smith. Noah Smith misses the three that almost got in, pretty much almost into the game there. Here's Wolfley. He has the ball now. Gavin Wolfley has it. Passing Muller. Micah Muller for three. Like I said, they can hit threes. It's a 1-point game in Evansville. Here's McKee with it. McKee looks. McKee for two. He will drain it. The three-pointer ties it up. Trenton Wolfley. Back to Wolfley. Trenton to Gavin. Gavin Wolfley for two. 1-point game for Plainfield. Here's McKee. Has the ball. He looks strong. McKee. Looks past Miller. Brennan Miller misses a three. Rebound Manette. Here comes Evansville. Muller back to Pearson. Now it's Gavin Wolfley. Wolfley keeps it. Puts it in for two. Timeout Plainfield. And the Evansville Hawks are up by one. Gavin Wolfley once again is clutch. We are back live. Back live here from Evansville. Here's Noah Smith. Smith back to McKee. Reese McKee with it. McKee has it. Looking to score. Back to Miller. to Nielsen. Nielsen for 2. Timeout, Evansville. It's a 1-point game. Now it's Plainfield that leads it. Overtime here from Evansville. Back line from Evansville. Everybody is on their feet here. Evansville has a chance to win it. Plainfield does as well. Here we go. It's Gavin Wolfley. Wolfley has the ball. Looks. Gavin Wolfley misses a 3, and the Thunder is going to win here in Evansville. Plainfield hangs on. Gavin Wolfley could not get the game winner. The Plainfield Thunder win it in Evansville. Great game by both teams. Gavin Wolfley was clutch, making it a 1-point game. Time for today's player of the game for the Plainfield Thunder. And it by far has to be Noah Smith. Great game by Noah Smith.